Okay, we're approaching here, coming up, we're slowing our speed down, we're down to 65 right now. Off to just to the right of the carrier, you see the safety helicopter that's always in the air when they're landing planes. And the whole trick is here, they're moving at 36.5 knots, which is 42 miles per hour, so as I come up on the ship, I slow it down, and that's the beauty of a gyrocopter, is that slow flight is no big problem for them. You just pitch your nose up, keep the power level just right, and you synchronize here. And as you can see, it's going to be a piece of cake, man. So, ship's moving 42, I'm moving about 48. And then as I get closer up here where I want to be, so I got a little margin so I don't slip backwards, I'll slow it down and try to get the exact same match speed. Get her centered on the line here. No cable, no hook, no nothing. We just slowly set her down. Okay, getting close. This is about where I want to sit down, right here. And now we just slowly the rocker back and touchdown. I learned from the last experience when I got blown off the deck a couple of times that you don't shut down the prop, because since they're moving 42 miles an hour, you got to keep the enough forward thrust on your machine so it doesn't get blown backwards. Or worst case, if they turn sideways, when they turn, it'll slip you right off the deck unless you're tied down. And so you'll see when we come to a stop up here. We're going to go up here and park by these jets and wait for further instruction. We're going to take off here after a bit, but while we're parked, we keep the engine running at a lower RPM just to hold us in place. I've got the brakes set also. But you'll see, even when we come to a full stop here, that my airspeed still indicates 42 miles an hour, which is true because that's how fast the air is moving over the top of the deck here and into my pitot tube. It's not a dirty word, it's a real thing, a pitot tube. It's where the air pressure is measured for the airspeed. Anyhow, we're good here, and we're just waiting for them to check the film and everything, make sure they got a good take. We'll be able to pull us off in one take. Okay. Give them a couple more minutes here. They got a little work to do to get it reviewed to make sure they got everything they wanted on film. On video, actually, it's not film. Shows you the old way. Okay. We're cleared to go. So we're not going to use a catapult here. We don't need it. Since we can take off at a relatively low speed, we're going to go up. The big black thing you see here is with the red and yellow stripes around it is the blast gate that goes up behind the jets to avoid the blast from hitting the other planes and people behind when they take off. Okay, here we go. Full throttle, 150 rotor RPM. That's all the minimum we need. Now we're at 200 and we're flying. So it's pretty easy when you start off at 42 and you can lift off at 55 or 60. It doesn't take too many feet to roll up to that speed. Anyhow, we're going to circle around here and go over and check out the other ship. Maybe next time we'll try a landing on it, although it would be much more difficult. It's not an aircraft carrier, it's a cruiser with a heliport on the rear deck. Aft deck heliport. Problem I would see with that, trying to do the same little stunt, is the fact that the minute you drop down behind the superstructure or the middle of the ship, you're going to lose, it's going to act like a wind block and you're going to lose your wind and you're suddenly going to surge forward. So it could be a little tricky. Plus I don't have any idea how the hell you would take off. You wouldn't. You'd be stuck in the ship. There's no way to get a run at it like you can on the carrier. So the carrier, end result, as proven by what we just did, is piece of cake. Relatively easy, relatively safe. Landing on one of these still is the domain of the helicopters, who can hover under their own power because they have powered rotors. We have auto rotating. And we fly an auto rotation non-powered rotor all the time. One thing that keeps that rotor spinning is our forward motion. So our lift is caused by auto rotation of the rotor, which is caused by forward thrust from the propeller. So anyhow, we'll take a swing here and then we'll go back and swing by the carrier, make sure they got everything they want, and then head back to San Rafael. Sorry for the yawn. I've ate just before I came. That always makes me sleepy. But you don't get sleepy. You can't be sleepy when you're flying one of these babies. Because it's constant attention. You don't deviate for a second. Can't text even. Saw a video the other day of a simulated video. It was a real video, but it was a reenactment of a gal coming in for a landing and deciding she wanted to text somebody on her phone, and the last thing you say or say is, "Oh shit." The next picture is the glider stuck in a bunch of canopies alongside the airport. Crashed it. You can see if we flew by there, that would be a tricky one. They can go pretty fast, but we can match their speed. That's not the problem, is it? The way to do it might be to go in and come in alongside where you got the wind blowing into your, keeping you synchronized with them, and then just do a quick slip to the side and set down on the deck. Could be done. I'm not saying it couldn't be done, but like I say, taking off would be a pretty tricky situation, if not impossible. Anyhow, we're swinging back here. We're going to go back and see do a flyby the carrier. We'll get a little closer look at it. So, anyhow, I'll shut up here. Just checking the map to see where I am in relationship to the airport. I can see the carrier, and I pretty much know where the airport is, but we're checking just the same. I'm going to get a bearing so we can zip right in on them. Okay. I'll shut up for now.
take all the trim print, the tip print off. Yeah. Yeah. So when the trim light's on, it's all the way forward. I have found out something too with that simulator. It's got a pneumatic rotor brake. If you're doing, say, 150 RPM and you put that thing, it'll damn near spin you around. Thank you. Well, that's what we need to do. And then I gotta do the transition to get into mine, which I did do some taxi work, and I did do some high-speed taxi with the rotor off and on. Oh, it's down to 65 when we put the brake on. Cool. Yeah. Oh. Gotcha. She's locked. I think she's locked. But anyhow, what we discovered, because Frank moved the axle back 6 inches from what the design called for, he did it only so that the nose would stay down. You know how a lot of the little single seats, they sit with the nose up in the air. And so anyhow, he did it for that reason. I had one of the other guys who's flown a lot, he's got 2 of his own gyros, attempt to take it off. He got to 36 miles an hour. He said he wants to jump off the ground because of that. No, I'm not going to turn the radio off. Just put the parking brake on. Don't turn the AV on. Switch off. Okay. So what's running the intercom is a master.